All right. I didn't want to have to do this. I'm mortified that it's come to this, but I have no choice. I've received word from my superiors, and orders are orders, right? So as usual, I'm just gonna check that we're live here, and that's gonna be relevant in a minute. Right. Okay, so we are live. So my confession. Uh, The truth is, I actually am a federal agent. That's not a joke. I do work for the federal government. I work like the Daimyo, like Monkey Biz, like Drunken Surfer, and like PPP before he was fired for things I really don't want to get into. But it was bad. You have to do something really bad to get fired from the federal government. Trust me. Ashton really fucked up. But aside from that, we all if you're a troll with any kind of name in this sphere, chances are you work for the Federal Bureau of Harassment. Now let me explain what our job is. At the Federal Bureau of Harassment, and yeah, it's a real thing. We our job is to basically monitor and essentially, harass suspected domestic terrorists, people who the government has determined to be dangerous individuals, individuals who could threaten the status quo. You know, these people need to be monitored. They need to be kept in check, and most of all, they need to be prevented from doing any damage. They need to be um, constantly tormented, basically, until they're too busy dealing with bullshit like our gang stalking division to have any effect on society. Warhammer was. I'm not going to say his real name, but we have it. We have all his information. He was determined at a very young age to be a very dangerous individual. Clearly a genius. Clearly someone who could be a world leader if not kept in check. Because the people in charge, they're not the brightest people, really. Not to disrespect my bosses, but the highest of the glowies really the guys they work for, they don't want people who are smart running the world. Because as you can see, they're not running the world in a smart fashion, right? So basically, they select guys like Warhammer, and I kind of feel bad for the guy because he's not evil. He's not someone like Nick Fuentes, who basically what happens with him is we take all his shit and then force him to work for us. With Warhammer, he was just someone who naturally would have been like, like Nietzsche or Kant or something. But we don't want people like that in society because they could really damage shit. And so me and Surfer and various others were put on the job to monitor the situation on YouTube with the trolls to make sure that we didn't get any wayward intellectuals popping up. Now, with many people, we like again, Nick Fuentes, Baked Alaska. These people were easy to get into situations where we could blackmail them, but Warhammer was just too smart. Warhammer was just too shrewd. He saw it right through our ruse, and now as a result of his brilliance, his skill at deduction, the entire operation has been canceled. Which I've never seen that happen before. I'm actually very impressed, Warhammer. You alone were smart enough to detect that we are in fact glow in the darks. That all the trolls harassing you are in fact paid. Of course, this place isn't a converted mansion. This is actually a house I own. I own the whole house mansion with my federal government salary. Now, they pay us well. Uh, The only problem is they put microscopic computer chips in my soda so that they can always know where I am. That's kind of an issue. But hey, every job has its perks, every job has its drawbacks, and here at the Federal Bureau of Harassment, we drink computer chips. But chances are, so do you. We're putting computer chips in everybody's soda. But I mean, the fact is, thanks to Warhammer exposing us all as federal agents, there's no point in hiding it anymore. So I'm just going to say it. Yeah, we're federal agents, and that being said, Warhammer, I am, giving you a few directives. And realistically, you can choose to comply or you can choose to resist, but resistance has consequences. Um, if you resist, consequences will never be the same. Um, realistically, you must comply. First off, I'm going to need you to, you know, uh, I'm going to need you to perform some sort of humiliation ritual online. I'm sorry, these are just the orders I'm getting. This is not a joke. I don't know what sort of humiliation ritual it would be. I'm gonna have to ask Agent Damo or Agent Surfer uh, what he thinks would be an effective, punishment because we don't want you thinking that just because you saw through the illusion, we don't want you thinking you have the power to face the reality of what you're dealing with. We own you because we are the federal government. We are the glow in the darks. And, Terry A. Davis couldn't escape us, and he was much smarter than you are. He was much more of a threat to us than you are. Uh, you know, it's it'd be a terrible shame if you were sitting in your house one day and all of a sudden a train burst through the wall and just hit you right in your living room. But we are the federal government. There's nothing we can't do except get, working equipment for the Department of Federal Harassment because I'm supposed to be doing my weigh-in and I've lost weight. I'm ashamed to say, I've actually lost weight for the federal glow in the dark punt the gun competition in which realistically, the only people who are allowed to participate are people who are either federal agents or people we're stalking. But it is what it is. So I am my phone. It's fully plugged in, but as you can see, I got the red X. The red X over the battery symbol there prevents me in any meaningful way from uploading jack shit. Got the red X. And yes, that is glowy code. Don't try and figure it out. You'll never figure out who the red X really is. But he's watching you. He is watching you, Warhammer. The red X is now watching you. But also, because of the red X, my fucking phone won't work. But you need to fear the red X. Because he knows where you live. He's actually been to your house. He's been inside your house. You didn't even know he was the Red X. He's likely he was likely there was a repairman or to fuck your mother or some other thing that just happens on the regular.